Welcome back to the Corey Bak'n Show. In today's episode, we got an unboxing. This is Spider Farmer. Spider Farmer contacted me and asked me to I wanted to do a collaboration using their 3x3 grow tent kit. And so I said, sure. And that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna open this up and see what each one of these boxes hold. So let's get to it. As you can see, this is the first time I'm opening these boxes. Excuse me, these boxes. I just opened that one, the one on the floor there prior to starting the video. But this is the first time I'm getting a look at what's in the boxes. Now, Spider Farmer contacted me a while back. It's not been that long. I've had this kit for a couple weeks now, and I had to wait till my other runs were finished and the tent was cleared out so I can get this one in there. So actually what's going to happen today, doing this unboxing, excuse me, we're going to take down the 2x4 in the laundry room, clear that space out to put this 3x3 in there. Now, you know how that looks back there in my laundry room. If you've been following me, I got the 4x4 on the right side there and the 2x4 on the left. And then against that wall in between them is a shelving unit. Well, those shelves are getting moved out of there. I'm taking my whiteboard down and getting rid of the 2x4 tent. That's going to allow me the space to put the Spider Farmer 3x3 up in there. And then we're going to run the whole thing. As you can see, this was so far what I see in the box. This is the exhaust system here. I think it's a 4-inch exhaust system. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that quite yet. But we're going to start taking the stuff out the box here and see what we got in here. It's a 4-inch because it's the 4-inch ductwork here. Let's open this box here, see what's in here. This is, okay, the timer. Let me see, your reliable indoor grow partner. The user manual. Got a user manual. Spider Farmer. Inside the box, it's a trellis net. The elastic kind. We have a pin timer. I don't like these, but since they sent it out, we're going to use it. A hydrometer. That's going to take care of, let us know what the temperature and the humidity is inside the tent. This looks like, this is one of the covers for your duct covers. Once you get it set up inside, I think it's two of them in here. Once you get your exhaust system set up and have one of the ends, depending on how you do it, if you run the fan, the inline fan inside the tent with the carbon filter, you won't have this on that in there. You would have it on the opposite end to collect dust. But I use it like this. I don't keep my exhaust system, my exhaust fan and carbon filter inside my tent. I only have the duct work coming in through the top and pulling the air out of the tent through the fan and then into the carbon filter. My carbon filter sits up on top of most of my tents. In this case here, this carbon filter is going to sit off in a corner and you'll see the area. I'm gonna show you what it looks like. But yeah, it's gonna be outside the tent. So inside the tent, the ductwork right here will come in through the top, more than likely. And then I'll have one of these covers on that duct. So as the air is getting pulled through there, it's getting trapped through this little fishnet. We pull one out real quick. I called it fishnet, but it's more like a screen, just like your screens in your front door, your windows at your home. Same deal. Yeah, it's just and it's cool how they do them now, because I have the old style also, where this fits nicely right over top of the duct, just like this. Got a nice drawstring, and you pull it tight around it. Like I said, the front part here is just a screen mesh right there. So as the air gets pulled through, any particles get trapped up here on your on the screen here. After a run, you just take it out, put it in some water, rinse it out, use a little brush, 2 brushes, preferably something small like that. Clean it out real good, dry it out, and it's ready to go again. Now the old style is a little harder to get up on the ductwork, and I have a couple of those back there in my laundry room. If I remember, I'll pull one of those out when we're back there, and I'll show you what the old style looked like. They were harder to get on the ductwork, but this is cool. They send you 2 of these in the bag here. You got your rings, which is cool. You don't have to have any screwdrivers or anything to tighten your rings down on your clamps. Excuse me, your clamp rings onto your ductwork. You just use these little wings they got here, and you just crank them hand tight. So this is real cool, real easy to work with there. So you give you 3 of those. And these 2 trays here, it looks like something to attach to a pole, but let me see before I go any further. I'm interested in knowing what it is. Let's open up the user manual. These little plastic trays here. Let me take one out of the bag. And they look like they're attached to a pole here. Get a little closer, y'all can see that. Got a little carvings of marijuana leaves in there. It's a cool little tray, but let's see what they're supposed to be used for. Here they are down here. Oh, they pole mount, they shelves. Okay, they shelves that go inside of the your tent. Once you get the tent connected, these outside. These little clamps here, I guess the poles slide down through there, and you use these in your tent. And I guess that's where you can take your hydrometer and just have it sit right on the shelf in your tent, somewhere off to the side. So when you open the door, you can see your humidity and temperature. That's cool. I've never seen little built-in shelves for inside a grow tent. So you get 2 of those. So those are items that were in that one box there. And since I have this one already out here also, let me tell you what this is. In this box here, it's called the Grow Genius System, the GGS AC5 kit. And what's inside of here, let me pick this up, just in case y'all didn't see that. So yes, what's inside here is a power strip. And the power strip, I guess, is all connected. So all of these, your fans, your exhaust fan, your lights, and whatever else is in here can all be, it has 5 ports on here. So 5 different things can be connected to this at a minimum. I don't know if it got any USB up on the top here. We'll get into when I pull it out. But this is the power strip you use inside your tent or outside your tent, I guess. And you hooked up all the things that come with it, the fans, the exhaust system, the lights, so on and so forth, to this, so it all can be controlled from one central unit. And I guess we'll get deeper into that once we get further along. Oh, I got it open so we can kind of get a quick look. Like it's a probe. I guess that's like a moisture probe for you, so you can plug into your pots, so you can see the moisture content in your pots. Got a few other adapters in here too. I'm sure this is. Let me see what this. If I can see what that small writing is. This is the temperature and humidity light sensor. That's what this little gadget is. And this is your light and fan adapters. So these your lights and fan. I guess the cable is probably under here. All connects all of your stuff together using this. And in these little adapters here, the old phone jack adapters looks like. The proper name is probably in the book, and I'm gonna pull it out so we can definitely identify each thing properly. But I'm just giving you a look at what each one of them are. Matter of fact, it's on the side here. Telephone pole, telephone line splitter. That was this item here. And power strip I told you about, the humidity thing I told you about, light fan adapter. That was the light fan adapter. This was the telephone line splitters. Is this other thing here. But yeah, we're gonna pull them all out. And the soil sensor, that's what that first thing I told you about, that's what that is. But we're gonna pull all this stuff out of here and get a closer look at it. See what's under here. Under is just the jacks. Again, we're gonna see power cords and jacks to connect everything together. And it does have a user manual in here, strictly for this here. So yeah, like I said, we're gonna get into that also. So let's sit that off to the side. Next here, this is the 4-inch carbon filter. I'm not gonna open that up right now. We'll open it up when we get in the back. I have one, there's a couple of them in here. These are the fabric pots that come with it. I see two, I'm sure there's a couple more in here. I'll tell you the size. See if they got it on it. I'll tell you the size once I get inside the box here, because I don't think the manual here has the, let's check it out and see. Let me not guess. Fabric pot, let's see that. Yeah, here we go, 6 fabric bags. Depending on, I guess, what kit you got, that's what bag you got. The grow bag size. You get either 3 of them, 4. I guess the bigger, obviously the bigger the kit you get, the bigger your bags. Oh, so we got the G3000, so we got 4, it should be 4 bags in here. I'm pretty sure that's the G3000. Okay. So, more than likely, this is the let me see. Oh, here you go. It's on the back. This is your exhaust fan with a speed controller in there. Okay, and it's like I said, it was a 4-inch. Push that all to the side. There's 2 more of the bags, so a total of 4. bags. Now what gallon? That's one thing I didn't notice there. Let me see the go double back again. Let me see what size of that. These grow bags. Where the bags at now? Oh, here they are up here. Let's see. Five-gallon grow bags. 5-gallon grow bags. So that's what those are, which is good. I like that. It's a nice size. This will be the tent, I'm pretty sure. Yes, this is the tent. And last but not least, the light. Everything is well packaged in here. In one box, you get all of this. The light is pretty light. It's not heavy at all. And like I said, this is the G3000 kit. And that's what all of these parts are. I didn't go over this. This is the oscillating fan, the 6-inch clip fan. And we'll be opening that back there also. But now that's what came in this box. Now, my area in the back is not ready for this to be set up because I haven't taken down the 2x4 yet and reconfigured that area. So I'm gonna move the camera back there. We're gonna take that down, reconfigure everything, and then we're gonna come one by one and grab each one of these things here to set up back there. Put the tent up first and then start bringing everything else in. It's gonna probably be a little long video today, but it is an unboxing. We wanna see what all this looks like, all put together. And we're gonna do that and make sure we use each and everything that came in here. And I already have some plants ready to go inside this tent. So we're gonna also do that, transplant into the fabric bags, put those plants in, and let's get started on a run. So that's where we're at. Again, like I said, we're gonna move you to the laundry room now and set you up back there so you can see me take that mess down back there. Oh, not mess, excuse me. That tent has been real good too, and the light has been also. But it's time to upgrade to something new, bigger and better. So that's what we're doing with this Spider Farmer run. I've never grown in the 3x3. I've only had 2x2, 2x4s, 4x4s, and 5x5s. And in rooms, I've done big rooms. So this is the first time I'm doing a 3x3. And this area is, I think it's set up pretty nicely to have a 3x3 in there. So let's go back there and take a look at that. All right, so back here in the laundry room, all of this and this back here, let me get out of the way here. Everything back there on the wall, the shelf, the whiteboard, everything over here. And I just have my reservoir still here, the blue can there, that's the reservoir that'll be feeding this tent and this 4x4 I'm standing next to. So what I gotta do now is get busy. I'm gonna start taking this out of here first, and I'm gonna probably time lapse or speed through this here so y'all can get bored watching all of this. But yeah, I'm gonna take all of this stuff out first and then take this, and which is gonna probably wind up over here on this wall here next to the reservoir. And we'll set the tent up. Let's get to work. Now this is a 3x3 by 6 foot tent. So we should just have just enough space in this area to put this tent. And these are the connectors. Now I got the plastic connectors, the corner connectors. They made a little differently. So we'll see. Never did plastics before, but those are definitely different. I filled threads in the holes
It's like the poles have to be screwed in. Get a couple patches, just in case you get a holes. Seen quite a few patches here. Yeah, let's see how many you got. You got a user manual. Sit that there for a minute. Like I said, they gave you a few patches. It's about 5 of them in here. Six patches, just in case you accidentally cut a hole in your tent or poke a hole in there somehow. Here's some patches. Just keep them in a little bag and put them up somewhere. Because 9 times out of 10, you're going to get a hole in your tent eventually. Now, the newer tents are thicker than the older tents. Now, I got a couple tents in here. Actually, the tent I just took down there is one of the older, cheaper tents that eventually start getting the little pinholes around the stitching, just on the side panels, your zippers, so on and so forth. The newer stuff, like this one here, won't say the brand name, but they're much thicker than the other ones. Now, let's see what Spider Farmer gave you. Now, all right, got a little fancy. Got all the poles inside of their own little separate bag. That's cool. I'm gonna take it, each one of them is identifiable by a letter. Yeah, I see that. That's cool. All right. Slide these right over here. So if you ever had to take your tent down and pack it away or move or whatever, come with a little slick little Spider Farmer pole bag. Most of the times they're just thrown in a plastic bag like that and thrown in the box. But that's a cool little gift. Also, as normal, when you get anything Spider Farmer, they send you a bunch of slaps. I have a slap wall, a slap duct in my other part of the basement. You never see it, but one of the ducts like this here, on one side, you can't see it from this side where you're just standing there, but the back side of the duct, I got stickers all the way down there from different seed companies, tent companies, so on and so forth. But yeah, I had one of these up in one of the tents one time, but it came down. They don't stick very well. And last but not least, we have the tent. We got the little walls, got a little bag, little bags they've been, you hang on the outside of the your grow tent. I think I had one on here. Yeah, look what the clips for, the bag. I don't know what I did with it. But yeah, I'll show you all that. Let me get rid of this cardboard. Make us a little bit more room. All right, we got everything situated. Bust out the manual. Normally you don't really need a manual to put these tents together. They're pretty much straightforward. But since I'm doing an unboxing, I'm gonna do all of it the proper way. Show you the book. You pretty much know what's inside of it. If you ever order one of these, you just open up your book. They give you everything, the items that's in there itemized. You got your corners, what I showed you in this plastic bag here. You got the tent itself. You got the little carrying case, the pouch bag, one for the poles and one for your little accessories. And we're getting to that in a minute. You also have a bottom tray for inside the tent to catch any water. And your poles. And it gives you the instructions on how to put each one of their tent systems together. I guess off this one user manual, because they have it for each one of the different sizes. This is an 8x8, this is a 2x4. So you just find the one that's, that fits your grow size, and you use that instruction. So let's see, the 3x3, okay. I got the 3x3 one. And they say just follow the letters on the pole setup. Now let me get in here a little close so y'all could possibly see that. I'm not sure. But right here is when we're using the first one up here. The letters are identified with the poles. You can see those on the diagram. All you do is just snap those together that way. I hope you were able to see that. If not, when you do get the manual, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So we'll take, we're gonna get my base done first. And that's done with poles E and corners D. The plastic corners are D's. And we're looking for poles E. So let's find those. E's are in this bag. Set these here. Give me a few of these. Need 4 of these on the top and 4 of these on the bottom. So you have a total of 8 of them in your bag. You should anyway. All right, so we got these 8 here. Now looking at the connectors, they're like there's no top or bottom, so whatever side you use, they're all it's universal. So you ain't got to worry about which side should be up and which side should be down. Yeah. Okay. So they say snap the E's, the E pole into the D corners. All right, let's do that. Let's find an E. This is an E. Both ends are alike. Well, one side has a little, I don't know if that's a factor, but let's see. One side is a little bit sharper than the other side. The other side is the smoother side. So I'm assuming the smoother side is probably where the that goes into the pole. I mean, to the corner. And you just stick the corner down in there. I see now how these work. All right. You just stick the pole down into the corner, and then it has a little collar up at the top. You just tighten the collar down as tight as you can get it, and that'll hold the pole into place. All right, that's simple enough. And again, we're putting the base together, the bottom. So you got to get all 4 corners hooked up. Is that 3 foot? I guess so. Now the one thing we use in these type of corners, when you sit these on the floor, you just got to make sure you line them up so they sit flush on the floor like this, like so. And you just add the next ones on till you got you a box. When you lay them down on the ground, you can make any adjustments to the corners by just turning them like so. One more. And once you got all your corners and your poles connect it. Just make sure all your connection fittings here are tight so we can keep it nice and secure. Once you get the framing on the tent itself on the frame, this frame is not coming apart anyway. So yeah, we got the base done. Pretty flat. And let's go to the next step. The F poles go on next. These are the F poles here. Just pull them out and look for the lettering. Each pole has a letter, and here's an F. So all you're going to do with these is stick these down in a hole. One other thing too, make sure all your, I noticed this when I was putting the bottom part together, make sure these little fitting screws are loose or the pole won't fit in there right off the bat. So just make sure they're loose. Makes it a lot easier to slide the poles down in there. So you need 4 of those F poles. Another way you can identify the F pole, it has one little hole up at the top. The hole goes to the top because that's where the other pole is going to snap into. So make sure when you're putting the Fs in, you leave the side with the hole facing the top. The other end of the pole on the F poles don't have a hole. And remember, once you slide these poles down in there, you need to go down to the bottom and tighten up that screw down at the bottom that holds the poles into the corners. Now we're going to come back to that in just a second. I'm going to go ahead and put the next pole, which is G. Let me look at my instructions. I know it's G, but let me just look right to make sure I'm right. Yep, the G pole's going next. This will be the male end because it has the detent button on it. You just stick that in the hole, press in the detent button, and it'll snap into that hole that I told you about that's at the top, that you left up the top there. Make it nice and easy for yourself. Now in this area here, I did measure it out perfectly because I'm 6 feet tall and this tent is supposed to be 6 feet tall, and there's just enough clearance room to get under my ductwork here. So now that I have each one of these in, I'll reach down to the bottom now and tighten up that piece I told you about. Just put your foot on the pole, stop it from moving. And you just tighten it up. Everything is hand tightened. You don't need to tighten it, but so tight, it's not going anywhere. And then when you go to take it apart, years from now, it won't be in there seeds. You can't get the damn thing off because you put it on there too tight. So hand tight is just fine. So, just like that, we're almost done. Then we grab those other corners and we go up to the top and we put these corners on. Same way, make sure, like I told you, just before you put them on, just loosen up those a couple turns those corners. So when you go to insert the poles, they're already loose enough to accept it. All right, now that we got that, now we get the top bars. The top bars will be letters E. Once again, E. And you should have 4 of those.
And all you're doing now is just sliding these in and connect them to the other side. I'll hand tighten a little bit because I'm gonna come back and finish them all, tighten them all up in a minute. Just tighten them enough so they don't slide apart on me as I'm doing this. All right, all corners are nice and tight, and we have the structure up. Just like I said, just enough clearance room to work with over here. And these last 2 bars, they're gonna go in once we get the tent itself up and around here. Now, still with the tent. Now the tent, to make things easy, you wanna find the bottom of your tent. And the reason why, put that down there, that's your inside liner. If you find that bottom of your tent, and that's just down there, because here's the Spider Farmer logo. So I know the bottom is down there. You open it all the way up, lay it out open the tent up as much as you can. As you can see, the space I'm working with, there's not a whole lot of space. But if you just identify the bottom and open that up, you can slide your tent poles into that bottom part. Once you get the tent pole framing inside the bottom of the tent, it's easy to pull a tent up around the frame. But it's just getting started, because and when it comes to you, it's like this, it's all zipped up, nice and convenient. But once you start unzipping, you get a little messy. So just remember where your bottom is. In this case, is right here in my hand. And you just open this girl up all the way to where it's like this. You got your back here, and then your 3 open sides. This is, you're trying to get the frame in this area here. So all I'm gonna do now is get this down on the ground, floor like that. I am going to slowly, I don't have enough room, a lot of room, excuse me. I have just enough room. Lift this up, slide this tent up under. A little challenging, but limited space, but you can make it work. See, I have really no clearance up here. Just a couple inches. Now that I have that in, I'll just drape the rest of it up and around and over, then zip it back up. I already took the back vent cover off because I like to keep the back one open for air circulation. The side ones I'll keep closed because of light. Down here in this laundry room, I have the lights right above me. We're in here using it. Sometimes you come in at nighttime. This part, I believe I'm gonna have this set up in here. Something like this, like that there, or there. But it'll be hard to video like that. So, yes, it's going to pretty much sit in here like this. And I'll still have room to get in here to video this tent when I'm videoing this tent. A little tight, but we'll work with it. Just let me finish zipping this up. Now what I'll do, I'll slide this down here and I'm gonna bring you in so you can see inside the tent. Now the tent has the door, has a strap here with a little hook or something here, and you hook that to this little clamp that's on the side of the tent to keep your door open. I'm gonna bring you in so you can get to see the inside of it. Trying to angle it so you can get a little bit more light in there. Not a lot of light back here today. As far as it goes. Plus I need to charge this thing up. So we're gonna have to take a break, charge the battery up and come back because I'm down to like 7%. But before I stop real quick, you see the ducts openings up at the top for your ductwork. Here's one here. Here's one here, one on the side here, another one on the side here, one down at the very bottom, and one on this side, the very bottom. So you got plenty spots to bring your ductwork in to the tent. You got, let me see, there are 2, 4, about 6 different spots. And then if you have any of your cords, you got a spot here, spot down at the bottom down there. And is this the 2 of those? Yeah, this the 2 of those. So you got the 2, I guess they about 2-inch, 3-inch holes for your cords. And then you have 6 4-inch holes for your ductwork. You got your 3 vents at the bottom and they are Velcroed. And like I said, I'm gonna keep the 2 sides shut. And you see me pulling one off the back already. So, you know, real quick too, in side doors, you got a side door here and a side door here that'll allow you to get to your plants from the side. In this case, in my situation, I'm only gonna be able to reach them from the front and over here on your right side. You push this back over here for a minute. And like I said, my battery is about to die. So I'm gonna stop this right here and then I'm gonna come back after I charge this up. All right, we're back. We got the tent pretty much set up. As you can see, sitting right back there snugly in that little hole there. Got a nice little space between the 4x4 that's right here and the 3x3. So we got plenty of room to work around it. The reservoir's still, currently right there. And the shelving unit here. I got some cleaning up to do, but we'll get to all that. But so far, so good with the setup inside this 3x3. We got the trellis net up, as you can see here. We got the shelves that I told you to come with them. They snap right onto the poles here. And you see the hydrometer sitting on that one. As soon as I can figure out how to get the damn thing off of Celsius. And it's 2 of them that come with it. There's another one that's sitting right here. You see the little marijuana leaf on there? That's lit.
But yeah, you got 2 shelves there you can put something on. The oscillating fan is sitting right back there in the back. Now, the next video, we're gonna get a little bit more in depth and details about each one of the items that's in here. Just GS3000, I'm at correct myself, SF G3000, the Spider Farmer G3000. The light, I got it, as you can see, it's only on 11%. I just turned it on so the light will come on. Let's get a look at the diodes real quick. But again, we're gonna get, excuse my camera work, we're gonna get a little bit more in depth into this light in this next video, because I'm gonna get into how to connect this whole thing up to the Grow Genius system. Then that's, let me see if I can get you a little quick look at that. Looking at the wrong stuff, bring it down. That's this right here. It's kind of hard to see. Let me get a little bit more light up here. But you see that power strip there? That's part of the Grow Genius system. And we're gonna get into that in the next video. More specs of the light, how it works, how it connects to that Grow Genius system, along with both exhaust fans. I mean, not exhaust, both exhaust fans, but the oscillating fan. Here you can see my ductwork is running over here to my exhaust fan that sits back on the floor right down there. See the air pump there, but it's right down there. So yeah, we're gonna have all this connected. And in the next video, like I said, we'll go get a little bit more in depth of the brains of this whole system. We'll add the plants at that time also to get them going. Well, as a matter of fact, the plants will probably be in here when the next video comes along, because I definitely need to get those transplanted in here as soon as possible. They're definitely getting pretty big. So y'all don't need to see me transplant them into the pots, the fabric bags right there. Y'all just need to see them in the tent. So by the next time you do see this tent, the plants will definitely be in here. But then I'll have everything connected, so then we can talk about how each thing runs and how, you know, just like I said, how each thing runs and is put together. Now my power strip that I have, that's the Grow Genius thing that's sitting up here, I'm going to mount that up here on this wall right up here, so I have easier access to it. And then when I show the next video, it'll be easy to talk about it and show you. I'm going to actually clean this wall up and paint it this week. So by the time y'all see this next week, this whole wall will be redone, and it'll have my whiteboard up here, so I can get my notes, to keep my notes. But that's all we have for you in this week's episode. If you like what you saw, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, share, and subscribe. And until next week's episode, stay baking.